Hey, everybody.
Girl.
Hey,
We
you
do love the
guys.
flower girl, don't we? I do.
Yeah.
We do love the Flower Girl. I want to call this the travel podcast
Okay.
because
That's cool.
though Paul is at home, Bob and I are still traveling while we're
I am in
podcasting.
I'm in Rhode Island, and
I'm in
candidly,
California.
candidly, it's midnight here, but I gotta tell you, the sports viewer on the East Coast, it's painful. I'm in the ninth
Oh.
inning of the Dodger game here,
Oh, wow.
and it's like, this is crazy, what they have to
Yeah.
go through to watch games back here on television. It's
Was
anyway
it was
crazy.
at our and we were kids when we lived back there. And I remember it only because I remember the first Super Bowl, we were all on the couch with Biggie, and we knew we weren't going to get to see the end of it. And then he talked whoever was there into letting us stay up for the whole thing. And
Because so
so
it was late. You remember it being
oh,
late,
it was late.
to Bob's point.
Here,
Yeah.
people go out and then they come back at 9 o'clock and watch the Super Bowl.
Wow.
And back in California, people watch the Super Bowl, then go out.
And then go out. Same at
It's
home.
crazy.
True
It's
Yeah.
just
that.
they miss so many good ninth innings. But what were we
So
talking
listen,
about
we're
before
freshly
that?
home from tour. We are all
Yeah,
freshly home from tour, or some of us not. And we had
yeah,
quite an interesting exit. Bob, you want to?
Yes.
the
Oh,
exit. Well, so here's the deal. After our last show, when we talked with Mike Kurtner, and by the way, I got to say something about the radio show real quick, okay? I'm sorry,
good.
but this is an aside. We'll get to this other thing because when we said we love the Flower Girl, yeah, we love the Flower Girl. It reminded me of the latest radio show on 97.9 The River, the Cowsill Chronicles,
Oh my God.
because he did a deep dive kind of into us on this Sunday show,
Okay.
and
Oh,
we're hearing the Rain in the Park and other things. But then they played the Rain in the Park and other things a cappella, and got into some a cappella work. They got into some Susan Cowsill, some Lindsay Cowsill work.
Oh
Okay,
my.
Lindsay Susan Cowsill, and it's a great episode of the radio show this Sunday. But I wanted to mention that because it really was. Kudos
Okay,
to
well,
well,
Mike
fun
and
then. People should go
Cecilia.
watch
yeah,
that.
yeah, they should, but it's interesting. And so then what was the podcast before that? Who did we no, who what radio show then was the Sunday before? Because I thought I listened to
Tom
the most
Garrett,
recent
but
one.
or
No,
Dennis.
see, I listened to God, it seemed like it was the next guy up. Oh, that's so funny. I can't
We can
remember
get
who it is.
confused. All our radio shows are up online on demand, so you can go listen to this one and that one, and then you're gonna get out
Hey,
of
maybe
sequence
Paul
then.
can go figure out which one he's referring to. Pick up a lot of good time. But you guys,
Yes.
Minnesota State Fair.
Okay. It was crazy. It was a
Okay.
storm of storms. And I don't know why this is. And I know I can speak to this because I know Bob and Susan feel the same way. And dude, the most fun thing that we do out there is the show. But when you're coming up to the show, okay, hours out and there's a big storm, you're going, oh wow, if you're outside, you're going, oh wow, this show's gonna go on. And there's a kind of an excitement of possibly the show won't happen. And we love doing the show. And it's not about that. It's about all the way coming up to it. And then when somebody goes, yeah, they're not doing the show, you go, oh, but there's this time, and I don't know if you guys feel that, but there's this time when you're thinking, oh wow, I mean, could they cancel this show? I mean, there are huge seats in the
It's
arenas, and there's no plastic, and you just, what do you know, guys, what I mean?
oh, I do. It's like it feels like such a big decision to make.
Yeah,
And they act like it too. I mean, because it is. There's thousands of people on the other side of that grandstand
yeah,
trying to figure out if they're coming in or not. And then they
yeah.
got the thing, we're all watching the storm, y'all coming in, and it literally on the radar, it starts, we go on at 7, and the thing starts at 7:15. And so if they let the people in to start the show and everybody was sitting watching us, literally when we were done, they'd have to evacuate.
Make the decision early. And what Paul was saying, see, what happens is by late August, we are kind of lulled into a rhythm of the road. Or 11 o'clock, we load in 2:30 sound check, 5 o'clock dinner, showtime at 7:30, drive all night. 11 o'clock.
Groundhog Day.
So
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
come in to a day like Minnesota and weather. I mean, severe weather is coming at us, and the excitement, there's drama in the air. The routine's been
Yeah,
broken.
drama for sure.
You know, this show has never been rained out. We've had many relationships with the rain during the 10 summers we've been doing the show.
We
We've had
have.
audiences sitting out like as if it wasn't raining when it was.
True
We've had
story.
audiences sitting in plastic covers that the venue
Yep.
gave to everybody in the audience, but we never had a relationship yet with lightning. And this is the difference that's coming at us.
And
And the
so,
first inkling, wait, can I
like,
say
we're
the
coming
first
up to
inkling?
what? Go ahead, Bob.
I'm sorry,
Oh
the
gosh, yeah.
first inkling, the first inkling is when we were on the bus and we got a call into the tour bus, okay? Because Ron was sitting there. And what they were calling, and we were innocent at this point. Like, we're not watching the red thing coming at us on the weather map. Like, none of that's happening. But we get a call that they have a plan to shelter the bus because they heard that there could be possible tornadoes in the storm coming. And so we're going tornadoes. It's like thunder, lightning, rain, tornadoes. So and they're going to shelter the buses in these barns, I guess, or something. But then okay, that call's over, and it's the afternoon still, you know. And this is all going to transpire where
Well,
we're going
now
to
they're going
leave.
to shelter us.
Yeah,
Now they're going to
go.
shelter us. And so, and Rachel, our merch girl, Ray, she's walking around and we're all dressed. We're like, tick tock, what's going to happen? And then Rach goes, well, now they want me to go look at the buildings that we might go in. And I went, what are you talking about? I mean, and look, y'all, I'm from New Orleans. This is not even a cat one. This isn't a tropical storm. This is just a big, and it's a big deal, but yeah, whatever. So then I'm like, we're not going in a building. And she goes, look, they want me to go decide which is the closest. I'm like, all right, do what they're asking. And then the next thing you know, we're all getting told we've got to go into this cafeteria and like cows going to cattle, like in droves we were seen going across this parking lot.
Can I say something quickly, Susan?
Yeah.
Because we're still on the bus. Look, our nature is we don't want to leave the bus. We want to ride this thing out in the bus. What do you have to leave the bus for? And we're looking out, and like Susan says, we start seeing everyone walking toward this building like zombies in a movie,
Like the
or
body
something.
snatchers.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, and so I'm thinking actually at that moment on the bus and all that, and we were seeing lightning from afar, and there was a big storm, coming, and everybody was talking about that. And so, but I didn't hear anything about the tornado. And the thing
Oh.
is so I'm thinking they're getting us out of the bus because of the lightning that's coming. And actually for lightning, we would have been safest on the bus because of its rubber tires. But I was real confused as to why we were moving under shelter into a whole big room.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was no option. We were ordered to this room at 7.
right.
And
That
by
is
the
correct.
way,
It was the law.
it is 7:15. The show was supposed to start at 7, and nobody has told us that the show has been canceled. We learned later there's 5,000 people on the other side of the grandstand
Yep.
that they're not letting in. And then we're ordered to this cafeteria where everybody, the people that work there, and all 26 of us are inside.
Yeah, and not a very big room. It's
Yes,
I'll say it 50
Susan
by
calls it.
50 or something. Yeah, it wasn't a big room. And,
And
and and I did want to let everybody know, all those 5,000 people, I think half of them were told to take cover under the grandstands. And then across right from the grandstands, there were these, the Quonset huts that have the big jewelry, this and jewelry that, and the rest of the people went into those kind of things if they didn't go home.
if
So
they
we get
didn't go
into
home.
this cafeteria area. Everybody's in there. It's tight, guys. It's tight. Our nature is
And no air
to
conditioning.
no air conditioning. It's dense, it's humid, it's hot, and a storm's coming. Okay. And so me, Paul, and Susan, we go down a little corridor to the outside door and step outside on this porch. Okay. That's right off of this room. Kind of, you're not supposed to, but at this point, it hasn't hit yet. And then we
Right, and I
turn.
was in charge of the door. I was in charge of that door.
Yeah,
So
Paul was on the door. We were a
yeah,
little further out on the porch, and you turn and you could see it. You could see the front of this thing, like one of those dust storms in the movies,
yep,
coming right at us. And then
yep.
right on the porch as we're standing there, it hit us the
Whoa.
rain, the wind, there was dust coming in our eyes and in our
In
mouth.
our
In our
mouth.
mouth.
We had to immediately go inside and said, "Holy mackerel, this is a
Yeah.
mother,"
Yeah.
and it was,
It
It
was
unleashed.
impressive. I'm not
It
gonna lie.
unleashed itself. It unleashed itself. And it was funny. So we're in there and they had TV monitors all over the place. And then we were
Oh yeah,
seeing the
yeah.
storm and the colors and what was coming and what was not coming. And so I'm looking up on the TV. And so it's a two-shotter, it's a shot of the weather pattern. And then there's this gigantic tornado that they're showing on the left side. And people are coming up to me and I'm going, look at, man, there's a tornado right outside. And it was like in Denver, Colorado or something, that
Yeah,
particular tornado wasn't on top of us, but I had a few people thinking it was.
it looked like the Wizard of Oz one coming at us there, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
But the rain
It
was
so
was,
sideways too. The
the
rain
rain
was
was sideways.
sideways.
We had hail.
It was
It
crazy.
was
now here's the
green,
deal.
purple, red sky.
Now, so we go to, there's a window in this room. Okay. Now this thing is unleashing its fury on
Yeah.
us. And honest to God, guys,
It was a good
it's
one.
a huge storm. We're new to it, we're tourists, but the even the building is moving a little, sort of like a minor earthquake. I'm going, this thing's something. And if you look out this window, you could see the stage. And the video monitors are gigantic, you guys.
Gigantic.
There's something and they're swaying in this wind, and the drums, all the gear is out on the stage. Now they cover what they can, they move what they can, but this thing's coming
Yeah.
fast. And at 7:15, stop what you're doing, go into that building. It's like that kind of
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
So
And
uh,
all that stuff was everywhere. We even saw a video of the stage. Dorian, our monitor girl, she had a whole picture of it. And it was actually what made it, because Ron and the guy from the fair, we were all at their table and they were trying to figure out how this was going to happen. And even Ron said to me, well, we'll just go out there. Maybe everybody will do one song. Because I was saying to Ron, why don't we go out of this place and go sing to the people out there? And he goes, you're out of your mind. But anyway,
Yes.
and so they were working on something, and then basically Dorian was really the person. I mean, Carl maybe, but Dorian actually goes, guys, there's no show, there's no gear, it is everywhere.
There's
There's no way this is coming
nothing.
drum
back
set.
together. And
There
so that's
definitely
when we
was,
really knew it was over.
yeah, there definitely was no drum set. Hey, Paul, just a quick aside.
Yeah.
Your impulse to go out and sing to think of what you thought. To go out and take the show out to 5,000 people outside the venue, stand there and sing. That's right from our childhood. Because you know what Dad
Yeah.
would have done? He'd have said, "You get your
Yes.
butts outside this venue and
Yeah,
go sing to those people." And when you
you're
said
Absolutely.
that,
right.
I went right
Yes.
there, man. I said, "Oh my
That's
God."
funny.
Well,
Yeah, yeah,
I would
yeah.
like to make a comment. Your
So
lighting, your lighting this evening, in your studio is very lovely.
Well, thank you. Well, I'm not up on my tall filing cabinet, so I'm not hitting this way, and I
Yeah, no,
don't have
it's
this. Watch
sit on
here.
a filing cabinet.
oh yeah.
Usually
We'll
I
get
have it
rid of
on the
that.
little
You look
plastic
lovely.
filing
Okay,
cabinet
sorry.
that I
It's
put
not
on
Oh,
my
connected.
that's your
desk.
platform. Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and it's
yeah.
good one. It's a good one. Oh man, I was going to write something down, but I forgot to what I was going to write down because it was another part of this whole thing. Oh yeah, okay. And so anyway, all of a sudden, I actually see Jay of Jay and the Americans, and they're jumping in cars and they're leaving the area, but I hadn't heard anything. And then Dorian walked up and we heard that. So okay, so now that's not happening, and so now Dorian and Carl, and we were going to help, but we thought they had enough help, but they didn't, but we could have helped, but they were going to wipe everything down and they were going to pack everything up, so it was going to be the same thing that one would do after the show, but it was
Right.
a little messier and that kind of thing. And so, I
We
should
were
have
gonna
written it.
help.
And we were going to help. And so, but we didn't. And so we were standing there. And I mean, this is I mean, the fair's shut down. The Ferris wheel is dark. The stage area, the people out there, it's all dark. They shut this place down. And all of a sudden, man, the fireworks. I mean, it must have been
Oh
on a timer.
yeah.
And the timer said the fireworks happen now. And man, and we were standing there and they were overhead,
Over
literally.
the top of our heads.
It was the most incredible
Yes.
fireworks,
Yes.
and the grand finale was, oh my God, and the things that go, oh my God, those were so scary.
They were
Dude,
so
we
overhead. They were right above us. My
yeah.
neck, I couldn't keep doing it. So I
Yeah,
laid down
it's
on my
like that.
back. I laid
Yeah.
down on my back on the
Oh,
pavement, and Paul said
Paul
that
and I were holding our heads.
that sizzling stuff, when you're laying
man.
back, you thought it was going to sizzle on you. I mean, we were right
Yes.
under it, you
Never
know.
been
It
so
was,
close like that.
But
Never been right under.
yeah.
one more episode that happened in the cafeteria. Okay, so the storm has struck us. Okay, and we're all inside, and we hope we survive. And then there's a little lull. Okay. Now there's always a group, and I'm in that group, and I think you guys are too, where you just stay near the door. You're not going to go to this. And we're near the door, and we open the door, and a bunch of us kind of go out. Okay. And you're about to have about 10 idiots with their cameras pointing to the sky, trying to get the picture of the lightning bolts that are striking us, not us, but right above us, with
But
magnificent. If you could get one of these, you're in the magazine, okay? But all of us
Yeah.
have our dark pictures of the sky. It was so crazy. And
that
then
is
someone came
funny.
out and said, "Lightning's within 8 miles. Everybody inside."
Yeah, yeah. But
Oh, sorry.
I do want to let everybody know, and there's some smart people in those. I was not one of the ones
Absolutely.
that was out there standing in the water, by the way. These people were all standing in the water shooting shooting these lightning bolts. But the crazy thing about it was the sun was, beyond the storm, the sun was hitting the sky. So it was causing this insane pink, weird color, almost mauve. And then over to the right, there was a double rainbow all up in
Yeah, it
this
was
storm
crazy.
sky. Yeah, it was crazy. So
It
yeah,
was
This
quite
is I'm going to show you
a
something.
scholastic event. What?
This is
Yes.
this. If you can see them, let me see if I can tilt it.
yeah.
I
Keep
can't.
tilting, keep tilting, keep
No.
tilting.
Keep
Oh,
tilting.
Hi, Susan. You just popped up on my
Hi,
I
screen.
took
Polly.
pics. I
Hi, hi,
took
hi,
pics.
buddy. Hi. Love your
Yeah,
cat.
that's all right. You just saw it for a second. Darn it.
Okay,
Yeah.
we
Okay.
saw it for a sec.
Anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever.
Okay. Okay. Now we just got one more closing statement on this room. So we're all in this room, and I felt pretty good. I wasn't real hot. I took off my tie and I took off my shirt and I had my t-shirt on under that. I felt pretty good. But there were a lot of people sweating in there, and there were a whole lot of different things happening. Everybody's going around trying to take pictures, and everybody wants to grab onto you and, hey, get in this picture, get in that picture. Well, I don't know, and I don't want to exaggerate, but out of that room, and so we were headed from
Right here,
there
Paul.
home for a couple of days. Home for a couple of days, and then we had to finish the tour up in Washington at the State Fair, which we'll talk about in a bit. But so that's what we were going to do, and because I believe because of that room and the just all the stuff that was flying around there, 4 people came out of that room with COVID. And Jules Alexander of the association did not make it. Didn't. Oh, we had Dennis Stefano. Oh, I have to get this off my head. So it was Dennis Stefano. That's the podcast I heard. Was that from a long time ago?
To correct
No, not the
something.
Yes.
podcast. No, our radio
Show.
show. Yeah.
Yes. From his podcast with us.
No, I know,
Okay.
but when was that radio show?
Oh, I don't know. I don't
I thought
remember.
it was because
We
that's the very
did.
last one I have. So that I watched that thinking that was this Sunday's episode. And I got to tell you, if it wasn't, it must be the one before. And it was incredible. I mean, Mike is playing I feel like I'm on 90 Day Fiance, but Mike is playing all these great songs, and what he did was he played a bunch of all Dennis's stuff, the first 3 songs of the show with that, and then he did a couple of great numbers, and so it was a great show. And so I've got to watch the one you saw because I didn't see that one.
The Mike Kirkner one.
The one last Sunday is we call it a no guest episode. Okay, it's just us.
Right, right.
It's
Yeah,
just us.
yeah, yeah.
But
Well, I looked to
Like
that
this one.
on my thing. It said Dennis Stefano was this Sunday, so I
yeah.
must have had that wrong.
Well,
I'll
except
find
I
it.
listen. You know what? I probably listened to the link Mike sent us, which was the upcoming episode. That could have happened because I
What do you
just clicked
bet?
the link. Here's the latest episode. I
Okay,
think
I
we get it
got yeah.
before. I think we get
I
it
think
before
that's up
this.
to it, Bobby.
One last point about the night in Minnesota. During all of it, everybody but us are in their sloppy woppy bus clothes because we think the show's going on. We open it, we get dressed like whatever, an hour ahead, half hour ahead. We're walking
Sure,
around
sure.
ready for
2
action in
hours sometimes.
uniform during all of this. So
Yeah.
even in the cafeteria, it's like, who are those three? It's like, well, they're the opening act. They thought it was a show. And you couldn't get rid of it. It's like you dress for the show. So I got my little tie on, my little powder
Oh,
blue
that's
shirt that I
very
would not
Yeah,
funny.
normally,
yeah. Hey guys, I want
it's
to show you something real quick here. Can you see it?
no.
Yeah.
Can
And I
you?
see a picture of us.
Yeah, and then you see the guy above him,
No,
Phil Vassar.
I can't see anything.
Oh man, you gotta.
No, it's like what happens to
Man,
me. He comes in and out. We can't really see it.
Okay, well anyway, all I'm gonna say is Phil Vassar's font is like 5 inches, and our font is like a 13th or so of an inch.
What's it for?
This is the poster for the show
For
oh,
what
okay,
show?
okay. I'm looking at
in
it.
West
I see
Virginia.
it. Okay, okay, I see.
Oh.
Just saying. This is what
So,
this is. We were talking about. Oh God, no. Okay, forget about this. Yeah, I forgot.
hey,
Oh
listen,
yeah.
oh, time out.
Anyway,
I gotta say something that people are
okay.
Yeah,
gonna
you
say, why
better.
did he? I'm gonna say something that people are gonna say, why did he say that? But if you rewind, go back, Paul Cowsill on this episode just said that 4 people got COVID out of that room, and one of them was Jules Alexander from the association, and he didn't
Yeah.
make it. And then he went on to something else. Jules Alexander is not dead. He did make it. He's okay. Paul didn't mean to
I
reference.
buried Jules.
He didn't make
I
it to
buried Jules.
Seattle.
Paul,
Jules is a dead man. Miss him. Miss
Oh,
him.
stop it. He didn't make it to Seattle, is what Paul did not complete his statement, right, Robert?
I have to say, when I said that Jules isn't dead, my brain went to the Paul McCartney is dead thing, and you started that. I mean, that is just
All of
hilarious to
them.
me.
Yeah.
That is too
I
funny.
buried Jules.
One
Okay,
head.
so all right, we want to move down. Let's move down the timeline because, folks, and really in a celebratory way, we did get to end the tour, and it was going to come at the
Yes.
Washington State Fair a week
Yes.
later because we all had to go home and then return for a one night, a one off at the Washington State Fair outside Seattle in Puyallup,
Yes.
right? Puyallup.
Yes.
Okay.
Puyallup. Perfectly
And
said.
it was so refreshing, huge sound.
Glorious.
Carl made us sound like there were 25 of us
And
in our
Dorian
song.
made us sound like we were front of house on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
You
was an
give
incredible
kudos,
show.
you
It
give
was an
kudos to
incredible show. And I
Dorian.
think, what's that?
I'm sorry, I was just following up on what Susan said. You give kudos to Dorian because this summer, more than a lot of summers, in a bigger way, honestly, I'll just be honest about it. Our onstage mix every night was just so fun to have. And if you
Fun.
can have a good mix, because people, you see those speakers at our feet. What's in that speaker is what we hear. We do not hear what you hear out there. It's not even close. Okay, so you want your voice loud and other things. You order what you want, and that it appears every night and it fits in with the big sound
Yeah. Kudos
helps
to
you as a
Doe.
performer. Okay, it kind of gives you
Yeah.
a jolt, and that happened all summer. That was great. Carl, great job. The house sound, great job.
Carl,
Yeah. But I'm
crazy
going
Great.
to tell
good.
you, this is
Rachel
the
working hard.
first in 10 years that man, I never even during these sound checks, we had to do that for Carl every day. And I would, after, gosh, I know I started maybe the middle of June or something, where didn't even need to go up there and go testing one, and then go, whoa, what's happening? Look at Susan and go, man, what's going on? And Susan goes, oh, we'll try to deal with it later. None
Or
of
not.
that stuff was happening. It was perfect or not. It was perfect though. Every night it was, and that's
Every
never happened.
night.
Never happened, not in our
Never
whole
happened.
existence with this thing. And Dorian just,
Nope.
yeah, I mean, she, and you know what? She was having fun doing it. And that's what it felt like to me when my box was screaming at me that this
Yeah,
was
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, she makes
I
fun
could totally have
sounds.
fun every night. I didn't have to worry about, not feeling the good vibe up there and having to,
True that.
force it. So
When we
yeah, man,
got back to
it was
when
great.
we returned to Seattle, we'd only been gone 5 or 6 days, I think. And it was like we'd all been gone a month or two. It was like a
Yeah,
reunion.
yeah.
It was so quickly a reunion. What'd you do during the week off? You know,
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
It
Hey,
was
how
quick.
are you?
it
Was
was
it
great
that
to
many
do
days?
that. It was great. And then you learn about it was great working with new groups like Jay and the Americans and their songs that I really took to. I can't say that I knew Only in America at all, but I got, we get to learn everybody's songs that you kind of don't know, you know. And man, having Badfinger, Rocka, Rocka, Rocka was great. That was great having
Man, I
Joey.
thought
I'll
that
tell you,
was, yeah.
the other thing about the Washington State Fair, and this is always a big worry for us, is because we're moving around and out of hotels and at crazy hours. I mean, we're talking 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. I mean, these are like trips to the airport when a show's over, or even when this concert's done. And man, and so it's a big worry until it's figured out, and then it's okay. But man, these people, Ron too, man, he made all that shuttling. I mean, all that printout of who's
Yeah.
on what shuttle. I mean, hi, yay, that would drive me
Yeah. Kudos
insane.
to his name, who we may not mention.
Man, it was great.
Yeah.
So
It
also.
was smooth sailing that exit.
Yeah.
Do all of you remember the summer gig we did in the second half at the Honeywell estate in Friday Harbor, right, guys? Okay. So here's the Washington State Fair.
Yes.
So we're ready to come out stage and we look at the front row
Oh, yeah.
and there are the Honeywells in the
They're
front
there.
row
The
of,
Honeywells.
And
of our
It's
Lars.
the Honeywells.
and Lars and
And
Lars.
Lars.
That's
And
our
Lars.
Lars. It was
Yeah.
great to see them. And then that felt like, oh, did we make
Yeah,
old
that
friends
was a
here? Everyone's
surprise.
excited, you know.
Dude,
It's
it was
great.
crazy. I
It's
saw
crazy.
Nancy, and she is, you guys, we're talking to the casties, and Nancy and Dave, they were just like us. Okay, I felt like we grew up in the same neighborhood, and uh,
Yeah,
and
they're
and
pretty.
they're
Yeah.
pretty cool, man. And Nancy, she is a crack up. She has some pretty slanted jokes. And if she's listening to this, she knows which one I'm talking about. But anyway, but yeah, it
You
was
know,
great seeing them.
Yeah, it
if,
really
if
was.
you
It was
if
fun
you
having
ever
them in the
thought
audience right there.
they are the couple who wins the $238 million lottery, something like that, which they did, and stayed
Yes.
normal. You know,
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
like they do exist. They didn't go
Yep.
Yes.
wacka wacka, they just
Yeah.
said, "Hey,
Yeah.
this is great,"
Boy, really good point, Robert.
Well, and
Yeah,
it's
they
funny
were
with Bob
great.
mentioning that, at the beginning, when I saw the Honeywell estate and, blah, 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 and I'm
Oh,
thinking,
yeah, yeah,
wow,
yeah.
the HVAC people, the air conditioning, the
Yeah.
heating and air conditioning people. And then, Bob, I was saying, wow, how funny is that? Oh, wow, this will be good. And Bob goes, yeah, well, look I looked them up. And, obviously, I didn't, but, and Bob looked them up and he goes, yeah, they won like the millions and they took the whole thing. So it left him with 180 million.
So
And
it wasn't that Honeywell.
no, it wasn't the HVAC
Imagine
people.
we could have easily just showed up and thought they were the Honeywell company. And we would have sat down and said,
Oh,
"Man,
I did
I
think
have
they
I
were.
have your stuff all through my house."
Yeah, yeah.
They go, "What are you
I
Yeah.
talking about?"
100% thought they were. I
My
couldn't
heating
wait to
register is
discuss it.
always from your company.
Grandpa Honeywell, I wanted to talk about.
If you're Honeywell estate, a good gig, what else would you think? I mean, it'd be
Right.
like whatever.
I
Come
never think
on,
of,
Honeywell
I never,
Estate.
yeah. I would never think of them. I wouldn't think, oh, wow, they must have won the lottery. I would think
Yeah,
with the word
no.
Honeywell, oh, wow, look at these are the HVAC guys.
So everybody,
Yeah, for sure, for
everybody,
sure.
we're next. We are. Is it? I think this is next. We're coming to Dearborn, Michigan, and Lorain, Ohio, on the 13th and 14th. Okay, Lorain, Ohio, Dearborn, Michigan. Hey, listen, you know what I figured out? This is cool. We're with the Love Spoonful, the Buckinghams,
The
and
Buckingham.
a regular show, Buckinghams. And
Oh,
Chris is Chris Rosario, something like that. Yeah, the singer. So there's four of us, and we're going to travel. We're going on a mini tour.
yeah, mini tour.
It's Lima, it's Ohio and Dearborn, Michigan, and
Phew.
we're covering the Midwest in 2 quick
Covering
days.
it.
Yep, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And our show is basically the Happy Together show. To be
That's
candid,
right.
and
It
we're
It
going to
is
be
really
that
is
doing.
show.
without the Happy Together
But we
band.
won't be opening up. I'm trying to get there right now. I'm looking for Glenn. looking for his email with all the
We opened the
pertinent.
second. Yeah, didn't you say we opened the second half, Polly? I
I
think
thought
there's an
we ended the
intermission.
first half.
Oh,
The Bucks.
I,
Remember
no, I
Cheryl?
think we end the. I don't want to say anything if it's wrong,
Okay.
yeah,
but
because we'll hear from Nick.
I'm looking for Glenn's email,
Nick will
but I'm
call
not
us.
finding
Hey,
it. So
what are you
we won't.
saying?
Oh, here
We're
it
all
is. I got
going
it.
on
I got it
camera.
right here.
What
Come
is
on, the
it?
people need to know exacts.
Tell us what it is.
I'm
While he's looking
telling.
it up, let me explain what we're doing. Because people are going, why every time do they say the Buckingham says one we go to Buckingham? And what we're doing is,
Do that.
when we're with these groups and every summer, we all memorize each other's show. And so we're kind of imitating Nick in his show when he does that Sullivan. It's our favorite part of their show. Well, other than the songs. The non-song favorite part of the Buckingham show to us is Nick and Ed Sullivan. And that I shouldn't
Yeah.
say too much about it for people who haven't seen it, but
Yeah, no, don't ruin
a
it.
really show.
Right. You don't
Don't want to ruin
it.
that.
We
What do
love
you
it.
got,
We
Paulie?
love it. Anyway,
I'm
Thanks,
looking
Bob.
for it.
Thanks
All I can
for
see is
that
Central
tidbit.
Oregon Radiology. That's taken up all my pages.
Come on,
okay.
come on.
It's not
I'm looking
important.
for.
We're
It
in
is
the show.
important.
We're in the
We're in the
show.
show. This
It
is
is
part of the show.
important, and he wants the people to know.
Oh, and by the way,
Okay.
it is the
Carry
three
on.
of us, and we're all using the same band, is what I need to tell everyone. Or it's not the
That's
full
right.
Cowsill band.
That's
It's
right.
just the trio.
And we're not opening up, so they can, not
Be
worry
late?
about that. No,
No, don't
we
be
don't want to
late.
say that.
Are the Buckinghams opening?
No.
Hands are closing.
Bob, what's the name of the band that is with us? You haven't mentioned them yet.
11 spoonful. I did.
No, the
The
Blue
Buck.
Shadows.
No, no. The four on this show is the Buckinghams, the Lovin' Spoonful, and Chris Ruggiero. I hope I'm saying his last name right.
Me too. Here, hold it. Oh,
I'm pretty
I have
sure.
Glenn here from Omnivore.
Oh,
Anyway, here we
Paul's
go.
looking up the wrong Glenn.
I am. I'm
He's
done with that looking
reporting
up.
everything he's doing.
What?
Wait.
No. So, remember, Susan, the first time we did a show with Joe, there was a man there, an older man, and his son was in his band, but also did the emceeing. And
Oh, yes.
So yes.
Yes, I do
they are
remember.
playing with us. And but
Very
they're
good.
but no, what's their name? Very good.
Shades of Blue that night. Yeah. Is that it? Shades of
Shades of
Blue?
Oh, hold
Blue.
on.
Shades of
Oh,
Blue.
the
They're
Blue
on with
Notes.
us.
So there's five groups?
The blue blue tones,
Four.
blue notes.
The
I
Blue
didn't
Notes.
see. I didn't see the young
Melvin and the
man
Blue
Ruggiero.
Melvin and the Blue Notes.
No. Bob said the name right.
It's a Blue Persuasion. No.
Yeah. Okay. Anyhow, well, we're not going to find that information for
Okay.
you all
All
here
right.
tonight.
All right. So that's that weekend that we're confused about. Now, the next weekend is the 19th at PNC Bank for Cousin Brucey's Fall Festival. We're so excited about that.
Yes.
We're with other
So
people there
excited.
too. I
Yep.
can't remember
We're
who.
with Otis
Yeah.
Redding.
Chubby
Otis Redding
Checker.
is going. Oh, Chubby Checker is going to be with us also. So yeah,
This is
and,
getting hilarious.
Okay.
who else is
No,
with us?
we're with Chubby Checker.
We have so many shows. We don't know who we're playing with when.
It's the
This
craziest thing.
is our
And
scheduled
then we go to-
calendar where we tell them
then
all
we
the
go to-
information.
Then we go to Almost Heaven on the 20th, West
Oh.
Virginia.
West Virginia.
And we play at the
That's right.
Barbersville Fall Festival. We're into fall festivals, and we're going to
Yes.
see Mike Kurtner, our radio disc jockey, famous disc jockey host. We started to call him Mike Casey Kasem Kurtner. Okay, but he's doing such a good job. He sounds so
I love
friendly.
it.
I love him. Okay, so anyway, that weekend is happening, and then it is October 24th in Tomball, Texas, a trio show to kick off going to the Malt
Fall
Shop
season.
Cruise.
Oh yeah.
So the 24th is Tomball, and then we leave the 26th for the Malt Shop Cruise. So
Oh,
we got
yeah.
the malt. Oh yeah, we're tight. Like remember we had that gig before Happy Together? We had
Oh, yeah.
oh my goodness. So
Yeah.
that's happening. And
Wow.
then it is November 16th with Gary Puckett. Look it up on the website. We'll get more detail when we have some and are more prepared.
Yeah.
And then it's December 6th, the Cutting Room. Do not miss the Cutting Room, December
Yes.
6th.
Don't
band's
miss
coming.
it.
The band's
New
coming
York.
to the cutting room.
New York
Oh
City,
yeah, the
come
Happy
on, man.
Together band is all in town.
Oh, we can.
They're
I
getting
think
their
we.
Happy Together table this year.
Oh man, that's
Yeah,
gonna be so cool.
that'd
All
be
right,
the
cutting
best.
room. And then we think we're at the Arcada Theater in St. Charles on Sunday, the December 8th, but we're still waiting to hear about that. There's some
Sure as heck do.
hijinks and tomfoolery going on with that
And
one. And
then we're taking the
some
rest of
confusion.
December,
Some confusion. And then what?
taking the rest of December off.
Oh, then we're off starting December 8th. Yeah. And the next thing is March. And let's not talk about, we'll
Yeah.
talk about March later. Um,
Yeah.
uh,
I
Much
think they've
later.
got
that kind of
plenty to
wraps up
work with,
2024.
guys.
Wraps up
Y'all, I'm
20.
brushing my hair on the podcast.
You're brushing your hair on the podcast?
I am. You
Excellent.
guys, I just got home from a train ride. I just want everybody to know.
Yeah, I like the
Oh,
train ride.
Train ride
I
was
gotta,
good.
I saw it.
I
I
have
saw
to,
you were on it.
yeah, Susan sent the coastal part of the trip. If you take that coast train ride in California, part of
Really
it's right
beautiful.
along the ocean, right along the ocean.
Really
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
It's
But I
it's
got to tell you
beautiful.
something. Here's one thing though, guys. Before you get to the coastal, it's pretty rough.
Yeah.
It's the cement jungle of this big
Oh,
city,
yeah.
It's a train
And then
Yeah.
you
ride, man.
just
You got
you don't
this and
look
you
out
got
the window. You
that.
just take on the ambience of the whole train
True
experience.
that. And then when you hit the coast, well, it's on, and then there's no fray, and then you think of Jackson, and it just goes
Yeah.
on from there. And then Mexico, Paul, of course.
And you always go by Angel Stadium and you realize, oh
And
wow, the people that go
and
to the stadium,
Angels,
they get
that's
off
right.
here. They've got this bitchin' tunnel passover to
You
go to
can
the
get right
stadium
off
from the
there.
train thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's
Mhm.
another thing. I would like a lot of people in the Burbank, Glendale area to know this. If there are any surfers in this area, all you need do is get a friend to drop you off with your surfboard, and you get on the metro, and you get on around 7 o'clock, and you will be in Oceanside by 10:30. At which point you get off. All you need to do is get on with your wetsuit and your board. Get off at Oceanside. You walk off the platform. You look straight ahead. You walk down the street. You get in the water. You surf all day, you're done, you come out, you walk up the street, get back on the train, and go back home. It is that simple. And
The
if you're
funny part
my
about that, I love the whole
what?
dissertation, especially when you said, then you get in the water. It's like, okay, I guess you do. Hey, I have to ask if
Yeah.
this
Thank you.
happened to you guys. I have to ask if this happened to you guys. So during the summer, you're healthy, you're bouncy, you're bouncy. You got shows. You got every night. You got to work real hard for 15 or 20 minutes. Then you got to manage 23 hours and 40 minutes, and you work hard at doing that. And you're bouncing and you're walking and you're talking. Everything's great. 3 months, you go, this is incredible. I'm glad I worked out all winter. After the very last show, even my body knew that Minnesota was not the end yet. No, 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 no. You're going to Washington. So we went to Washington, me and my body, and did the last show. And then I come to Providence to New, see the kids.
I
And
agree.
I sleep. The next morning, I could barely unbend my body and get
Move.
up. I could
You could
barely.
barely move.
I hobbled to the kitchen. I said, "What is going on?" And I mean, it was serious.
I don't know how many days I've been home, but I've been asleep. I just woke up about an hour ago.
I
No,
spent
for real
two
though. And
days
y'all guys,
on and
like
off
I
sleep.
haven't had that night yet. I'm gonna do that tonight, wake up tomorrow and not move. But Bob, it is a thing. And I think it's because psychologically we know we must keep going, and that we're going at a pace we don't realize until we're done. And our bodies have the opportunity to stop and go, what the very F?
And
That's
then,
what I
yes,
believe.
like Paul,
Yeah.
you proceed to nod on and off for a couple of days, just trying to, you're acclimating, you're
Yeah.
acclimating. And
Don't
it's the
watch golf.
craziest thing.
I haven't
Oh,
started
golf.
that yet. I'm
And
starting that tomorrow, and then I'm going up to
our last
Ventura.
tournament, the last golf tournament Paul and I monitored on like Scheffler was 30 under par. I even
Yeah.
texted Paul, fire the golf course. It's like, this is not good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, it was terrible,
Uh,
man. But anyway, yeah, golf. I love watching it. It's so pretty on those big screens.
yeah. Yeah.
All right, so
No, it's
everybody,
good.
we're gonna have a guest next week. And if
We
we don't,
are.
it means we just didn't follow through with that promise.
No,
I
but
know
we're
that's-
gonna, we're doing that next week. And Hell or High Water, Miss Helen
yeah.
Highwater will be
Well,
joining
we're
us
gonna
next
have
week.
Johnny Boy on again for sure, and we do
Where's
have people.
John? We do
We're
need a
gonna
Where's
have
John?
another
right.
family group on. I got a line on a couple of those, so we'll get that going again
Yes,
and
we do.
just get some more things going. And listen to
We're
the
gonna get some
radio
things
show.
going.
Listen to the radio
Yeah.
show. It's so cool. It's like
Yeah, it really is.
you're doing such a good job. We appreciate it so much. Anyway, any other
And
parting words?
if people, but listen, hang on one second. So, and if people, you know, you're just hearing this and you watch it, don't worry, you can go, they have archived, you can hear all the episodes. The Mike has it archived, and so if you like it, then you can go hear all of them. They've been pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah. You don't have to worry about missing them or anything. You can grab it all.
Right.
Yeah. All right,
Everybody,
brothers.
we will see everybody next
Okay.
in Lorain, Ohio. Okay, we'll see
Lorraine.
you all in Lorain. Come to Lorain and
Yes, yes.
tell them we
Lorraine.
sent you. All right, everybody.
All
Okay.
Have a
right, my
good one.
friends. Next
Good
week.
night.
All
See you
right.
next week. Peace out.
Over and out.
Out.
Bye.